Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out. Welcome to The Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
Bam! Good evening and welcome to The Swimming Pool. SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. I have a question for you. Are you saying what you mean? Are you meaning what you say? Come on, don't lie. Are you saying what you mean? Are you meaning what you say? Are you being held accountable to yourself? My pastor used to say, people don't do what you expect. They do what you inspect. Meaning, who you are is who you are when no one's watching. That's a serious topic within itself. Well, my name is Travis Bridges, in case you didn't know that, and welcome to my live stream. I had no idea when I was going to come back, but guess what? I am back like a new jack, and I'm feeling pretty good. I had an interesting week. Had an interesting weekend. Actually, the last couple of months have been interesting. A whole nother story. But let me just start with the weekend. How does a nappy-headed boy from Pitt Street go to another country and actually do a wedding? Well, I just was able to participate in my first wedding abroad. It's a long story how that happened, and maybe one day I'll tell you about it. But I got the opportunity to be a part of an exquisite event that happened on Saturday, and my client was pleased, the guests were pleased, and who knows what's going to happen after that. I was just so excited, nervous like I normally am, but it happened and it's done, and some other great things are also happening as it relates to the music and the saxophone. Thank God for me being that 10-year-old boy who walked in that room one day and saw that thing on that stage. And I said, I'm gonna play that. And I told all my friends I was gonna play the trumpet because I thought the saxophone was a trumpet. So of course, me talking like I knew what I was saying, they just followed suit. Well, I'm gonna play the trumpet too. I'm gonna play the trumpet too. So when the time came to select, and I said, I'm going to play that thing. They said, well, that's not a trumpet. And they had already filled out their paperwork to play the trumpet. So 4 of my good buddies ended up playing trumpet. Let's see who they were. There was Greg, there was Anthony, there was Purcell, and somebody else, ended up playing the trumpet. And they thought I was crazy. How are you playing that thing with all those buttons on it? I was like, I don't know. I was just attracted to it. But that was 40 plus years ago, and here I am. With that being said, had a great weekend, a lot of great things in store. And in regards to the weekend, I was able to meet some rather interesting and influential people. That's what's been happening over the last few days or few weeks. And let's see, how do I even say this? Because my topic is something totally different. And I'm looking at the clock now. I'm going to be out of here in 11 minutes and 39 seconds. I'm punctual like that. But I have a commercial on deck. I was working on a spot this afternoon and got a text message from one of my constituents, I hope I'm using that right word, who needed me to come to a meeting like right then. And I said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I stopped my commercial and took off and went and sat in this meeting with some big wigs. And I could hear my mother's voice. Speaking of my mother, I have another story to tell about her. I was sitting there with all of the top management of this organization, and we discussed some things. They kind of opened that moment up just for me to be a part of what's going to be happening, soon. I went in, I said my thing, I did my thing. Everybody was clear. We all nodded, shake hand, fist bump, and I went on about my way, and they continued, their meeting, and I left out of there so refreshed with what's going to be happening moving forward. With that being said, I said I was going to talk about my mother. My mother transitioned in 2009, and the Thanksgiving before she transitioned, I was led to do a video, and I recorded my mom sitting in the chair, and it was me being who I am, and I was just being silly with the video camera because I had this camcorder. And when you get a new toy, you want to have fun with it. So I decided I would record my mother, and I didn't know it was going to be the last Thanksgiving I would spend with her. But anyway, she transitioned later in the spring of that following year. And I was able to take that video and make copies, and I gave it to my other siblings and a couple of other close family members that I shared it with. Well, time went on and a few years went by, and I had given everybody a copy and couldn't find my own copy. And no one wanted to part with theirs. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the one who created this and gave it to you guys. But it was so sentimental, no one wanted to give it to me except my nephew. My nephew said, I trust you, Uncle Trav. So he sent me the video about 4 years ago, and I copied it. I got it out of the mail. I copied it. I left it on my computer. That very same day, I put it right back in the mail. I did not COD, what do you call it? Where you had to sign. What do you call it? I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, I sent it back to him the next day. I sent him the receipt, and he said, I knew I could count on you. So he got his, DVD back. And a couple of days later, I went to go look for the file. Could not find the file anywhere. I was like, wait a minute. It took me all this long time to get a copy. And when I got it, I copied it, and I knew it was on my computer because I'm just cool like that. But I couldn't find it. Well, guess what I found just last week when I needed it the most? I found that video of my mother. And I started watching it, but I shut it off because it's like, I need to save this for a special moment. And I found a special moment coming up this weekend. I'm going to sit with that video. And I think it's like almost 20 minutes long of me just having a general conversation. And I think I need it at this time for reasons I won't go into. But with that being said, I'm excited about what's going on, what's coming. But what I wanted to talk about was the meeting that I had today. I got to explore someone's secret collection of art that was totally incredible. I was introduced to this person a few months ago, and I got the opportunity to see who they are and what they do. Just like over the weekend, I've just been meeting influential people who are unique specialists, in their craft. I'm running out of time because I want to tell all of this, but I can't. But the most recent 3 or 4 people I met were unique people who had the nerve to think that I was somebody. They listened to my music, they got to hear me play, and they just were, blown away at whatever it is they felt, saw, or heard. But in return, I was impressed with who they are and what they did. And we're collaborating something to happen whenever it happens. But, that's another story. I guess I'm going to try to get to the point. These people opened their doors to me. When I say their doors, I'm talking about their lives. they're special places. And they allowed me behind the curtain. And I could tell, sometimes people will say who they are and what they do. But when someone opens the door to their home or their, secret places where they put their best of everything and they allow you to be a part of that, they either see something in you or maybe God just, I don't know what to call it, but I'm just grateful for the opportunity to have met those folk and to be able to collaborate with them with some of the things we have in the works. With that being said, I'm going to get to my message, and I think I'm going to make my time. I can see it right here. Dropping the wallet is equivalent to someone being vulnerable in their own way. You ever watched an opportunistic bystander or a crook or a thief or a liar in action? There's an energy that goes with that kind of, spirit. Sometimes you can see it. Sometimes you see it afterwards. They say hindsight is 20/20 vision. I think it was George Benson who did that song. But I'm starting to find in my old age that what you didn't know when you didn't know it is not the same when you learn it and or when you experience it. There's something about going through something that causes you to see in a different way. And knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, when you have information, when you get knowledge, wisdom is applying the knowledge. And there's something about, crossing like my age group, wisdom kind of sort of naturally kicks in. And the way you would look at something when you're like 20 years younger, you just don't even see it the same way 20 or 25, 30 years later. With that being said, I want to send this message. When someone opens their life, their doors, their heart up to you, and instead of you valuing that, you see that as an opportunity to kill, steal, and destroy, that's not good. And that's just what I want to leave myself and maybe you with. When someone drops their wallet and you just so happen don't have money that day, and you find that wallet and it's loaded with all kinds of goodies, that's when you get the opportunity to be. And it's not easy. Come on, man. If you find somebody's wallet and it's got money in it and you're broke, naturally, if you're not focused, you're going to say, oh, thank you, Lord. But no, sometimes it's just a test. With that being said, I'm going to close with, the dropping of the wallet. It's just, I'm just paraphrasing and using that as an example to say, pay attention to opportunities. When you get to meet people, value who they are and what they have to offer, and allow collaboration, because we don't meet people by mistake. I did a live stream about deposits and withdrawals. When we cross paths with people, they either give us something or they take something from us. We deposit something within their energy, and sometimes they will leave us with something. But I don't believe there are no coincidences. Things happen for a reason. We can either learn from them or we can take the test over again. And if someone drops their wallet and you don't do the right thing, shame on you. With that being said, I'm just going to go. I hope you got what I got out of that. I'm excited about what's ahead, and I hope good things are happening in your life as you encounter people, opportunities, places, experiences. Embrace those, because life can be short and we don't always get second chances to make first impressions. So when you have the opportunity to be a professional, to be accountable, to be respectful and considerate, take advantage of it. Don't do just what feels good. Do what you know is not only good, but right and best. Did you get something from that? I certainly did. With that being said, find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, show it, mean it, let it be true. And it's not going to always be received, especially the way you think it's going to be. And it could just be a test. Be good, be nice, be considerate and respectful anyway. And watch the salvation of God. Did I say it already? If I did, now say it again. Find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, show it, mean it. Let it be true. I love you. Good night.
SWYM. As much as this information is designed to bring awareness to how we listen, hear, and process, it is also a form of therapy. The little person inside of all of us needs to be heard. As adults, even listening to ourselves is a form of healing, strengthening, and growth. It's okay to speak, talk, express yourself, and be heard, even if you're the only listener. If our testimony does anything at all for anyone else, that makes the continued effort worth the time. Get the words out. You'll feel better, and that's a promise. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
You know, sometimes it seems like all the good times are gone, but you got to keep on searching. You got to keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on.
You gotta keep on.
For example, take me standing right here today. I would not be here with you if I believed the things that the people say. You got to keep on searching.
You gotta
Keep it on the cool side.
keep it on the cool side. Thank you and good night.